downstairs, we learned about a man named Jonah, that Old Testament prophet who writes the book and calls himself, the prophet, calls himself stupid. I made a mistake. I knew those people need the Lord. I knew those people, that big city of Nineveh, they need the Lord. His forgiveness, His mercy, His life. We read the gospel lesson, and it says Jesus was walking by the sea called Galilee, and he saw two brothers named Simon and Andrew, and he said, "Leave the nets, come follow me." He saw two more brothers, John and James, and he said, "Leave the Father, leave the boats, leave the nets, come and follow me." And the four men, stupid? They were not big college-educated men, no. The four men were fish gatherers. They weren't the intelligentsia of their era. They were simple men. But Jesus told them, "Come, I can use you." God can use you. I was bragging this morning. I was telling him, my friend called Ed has lit the candles here at church. How long? You know? Loretta, do you know how long Ed McDaniels has been lighting candles? Yeah, it's longer than you've been here. I have one son here. He is 20 years old. When he was born, Ed was lighting candles. Longer than that, I have my oldest son when I moved to Omaha 31 years ago. My oldest son, Danny. I came here. I was afraid. I was a chicken. And I would escape from the hearing church at St. Mark. I would escape and I would come here in the morning. And I would see my friends like Kathy Peterson. I would see my friends like Dale Boyles. I would see my friends like Roy Sparks. I would see my friends like Jim Cornette. 31 years ago, I would see these young men. And I would see this young boy. And he was lighting the candles 31 years ago. I remember. You were here. You were lighting the candles 31 years ago. Because God could use you. You could serve. You could light the candle. You could show the people the light from God. And you did that many years. Yeah. And I am proud. I am happy to boast about you. Tell my friend, my new friend, that you have served a long time. Andrew, his brother named Simon, really, we sign it Peter. The two of them called, come on, I can use you. Jesus told them, come on. The two brothers, John, James, come on, I can use you. You too. Can God use you? I think maybe a while longer. Yeah. A while longer he can light the candles here. The light of Jesus Christ, the candle, the reason we light it, because Jesus is the light of the world. Jesus came here to show us what we could not see. Jesus came here to show us that God can, that God will use us. My son, Joel, when we were driving here this morning, my son said, who will be in the sermon this morning? He's sometimes a little bit afraid that I will use his name in the sermon. He knew that his girlfriend is coming to the deaf church for the first time. And he was afraid that I was going to use him as an example. And I told him, yeah, I will. Because God can use him. But I told him many more people will be included in the sermon. And it's true. Cliff makes the inclusion in the sermon. God can use you. And use Loretta to read Maureen. I love that woman. I cherish her. I remember so many Sundays, and she would bring her friend to church. And her friend is deaf and blind. She can't see from there to here. So Maureen would sit and interpret, and every word that I would sign, Maureen would be sitting there interpreting for her deaf friend. Because she knew her deaf friend needs the Lord. Still, when the vicar goes out, Maureen goes to visit Irene and interprets and helps them to understand the Lord's Supper. It's the white wine. Right. And her brain is going down and her body is going down. Not only her eyes, not only her ears are going down, but almost ready for home in heaven. Yeah. And another of my friends, oh, her older sister, the woman, every time I tell her, you know, I went over to visit Irene, Ruth will tell me, I'm older than Irene. Irene is younger than me. Yeah. But I go over to visit Ruth. Oh, do I think